Reitanna, it's Reitanna Seishin here. So, I just read, my worst nightmare ever dream, so, I didn't read the really bad parts if you listened to it, but it still made me, very angry and very upset. So, the next night, on May 11th, 2021, thank God, a good dream. So, the dream version of Vegeta and I had a conversation many months ago. He was constantly showing up with different appearance flaws. One time, he had, jerry curls in his hair, and so we agreed that he'd have a real-life quote-unquote vessel to help keep his appearance in my mind. So his vessel is an articulated action figure I have of Vegeta. It's not the best quality, but it does the trick. I also talk to it sometimes so that my brain will remember what I said, so when I sleep, it's more probable that I will have influenced the dream according to the real-life quote-unquote conversation. Excuse me. Well, last night it worked. Yesterday I wrote about the worst nightmare I've ever had, one that I did not want good people to read. So last night, before bed, I told Vegeta's vessel to please protect me. Now, it also may have been the help of taking an anxiety pill too, which I've taken one every night since my worst nightmare ever. But regardless, my plea to Vegeta indeed went through. I won't detail the entire dream, even though it was pretty epic. Basically, I was Extraordinary Girl, which I am most of the time now, and I teamed up with other lesser-known superheroes to form a league. I later told them that I'd fancy being the leader, but I knew I wasn't up to snuff, even though they said they looked up to me for my determination and passion. We were fighting this evil creature person, but it turned out he was too much to handle, so someone called on some well-known saviors of the Earth, including some Marvel superheroes. Have quite a few dreams about meeting them, even though I'm not a fan of superhero comics, no matter which brand. But Goku and Vegeta were there too. Those two decided they wouldn't jump in unless we needed even more help, but I gave Vegeta a huge hug and kiss before returning to battle. I didn't think all of my powers would work, so I was using a supersized version of the extra gun, which was white instead of black. Other superheroes were also using weapons, but it turned out that the only thing that could damage this guy was natural energy. I was worried I'd make a fool out of myself when my powers refused to work, so I used the Kamehameha wave, which I've mastered. However, I felt awkward using the same move over and over again, so I tried Vegeta's Gallic gun, even though I've only had one good, not perfect, but good one. It was like... it was like, yeah, it was successful, but it was a small feat. This time, though, I got the hand positions correct, and I fucking blasted that shit straight at the villain, and it hit so successfully, I was bouncing up and down, squealing like a teenage K-pop fangirl who just met BTS and literally got to kiss each one, shaking my head. However, my celebration distracted everyone, so we got hit pretty bad. I quickly recovered and focused real hard. I was about to use my strongest moves, and I just hoped they work. We didn't hit one at a time. We didn't hit one at a time, we all hit the guy at once. So in a collection of other superpowers, I used Ice Cascade, and it hit. The guy still didn't go down. Next, I used my second strongest move, Aqua Fire Chaos. I told them if this doesn't work, I'll be surprised. It's a really powerful move and does a lot of damage. It hit successfully, but the guy still didn't go down. Goku and Vegeta were about to join, but I told them I was going to try one more thing. I hugged and kissed Vegeta again, told him I loved him, and he asked me why I was getting all mushy all of a sudden, especially at such a time. I told him, just in case. I didn't answer him when he said, just in case of what. So I surrounded everything but me and the villain in my shield, which I had also been using prior, but it takes quick timing to cast and is tricky when protecting multiple people. They were still able to use their powers, but wondered what was going on. Then I began to use Last Chance, and the people who knew what this was begged me not to. There was a large chance it could kill me. It's called Last Chance for a reason. But I did it. I used it and it drained me completely. I fell to the ground, unconscious, though somehow was still able to watch what was happening. Vegeta got me off the battlefield, but they didn't have senzu beans, so I was not able to recover and continue battling. Because the fucker still didn't go down! He was on his last leg, though, and that's when the Harry Potter universe came in! The strongest person in this known universe is currently Lord Voldemort, shouted Harry when he arrived, because apparently Voldemort was still alive, even though Harry was an adult man, and was obviously years after the Battle of Hogwarts. So in came Voldemort! Before he faced the villain, he couldn't help but rush up to Harry and try to choke him to death. It was like a Simpsons moment and was pretty funny. I think Draco Malfoy ended up pulling Voldemort away from him. Oh, wait. Away from him, ... Him, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are all bestest friends forever in their adulthood, shrug. Well, I personally disagreed that Voldemort was more powerful than anyone else. After all, he was nothing without his wand. However, it was true that the killing curse only failed on Harry, so yeah, one Avada Kedavra later and we won. Then we went to celebrate at an all-you-can-eat dessert and sweets buffet. I was still passed out, but Badass Michael, the version of him who has powers and weapons, took me and stuck my head in a bowl of ice cream, which woke me up and I slurped all of it into my mouth. Now I was all better. I stuffed my face with some more ice cream and some cookies, then asked if we won. After they told me we had, I ran to Vegeta, hugged him so tight, and he said, "Thank you for protecting..." Oh, and I said, "Thank you for protecting me." Of course, I meant protecting me from nightmares because that's what I had said to his vessel. I noticed Dante and Virgil at the party. We joked around a little, and then I said, "Hey, why weren't you two helping us?" They reminded me that they relied mostly on weapons, not natural energy, and probably wouldn't have been much help. I said, "You know who also might have helped in some way? Rick." And then Rick tried to sneak by me, but I saw him and I was like, "Rick!" He laughed, half-assing an apology, saying that the fight wasn't his business, so he didn't care. He hadn't known I had been fighting, otherwise he would have been there. When he heard I had gotten hurt, he came by, but the battle was already over. As an apology gift, he gave me these weird earphones that I can't really explain well. There was a point where Draco decided to get affectionate toward me. We had been on and off during the years because he kept getting bored of me. Now, though, he's told me he's quote-unquote grown up since he and Harry became friends and wanted to love me. Vegeta knew about Draco's tendency to be fickle, so he pulled him away from me to give him a little beating. I shouted, "Don't hurt him too bad, he's human!" The dream ended with Rick and I listening to music with the earphones. He showed me what he's been listening to lately, and I finally got him to try Tool, and he ended up really liking them. I wish I could remember how his song went, though. It was a female singer, kind of electronica, and the beat and lyrics were really happy. I also gorged myself with sweets. Such a fun dream. Vegeta told me he was proud of me because of that phenomenal Gallic gun. I've only had a couple of successful Gallic guns. It's most of the time. Most of the time. Okay, here's what happens. I can never get the hand positions right. And it's hard to mirror them because even if I look at a picture of his Gallic gun, it's not easy. So, usually when I do it, I go, "Gallic gun!" and put my hands out to shoot the thing, and this little ball of energy comes out, like, and just kind of flies around and gently lands on something. And then goes, poof! Taking barely any damage, barely stings. And I'm like, son of a bitch! I wish I could remember, it kind of has the behavior of a bubble. So it just kind of floats in the air randomly before settling on something and exploding. Anyway, because I had no nightmares, I woke up in a much better mood, and it makes my previous night's dream fuzzy. I'm going to take my anxiety pills before going to bed for a little while until the horrid images are almost impossible to recall. I also ordered an articulated Rick figure off Wish with wedding money Mike and I received from Mom. That's going to be his vessel because last night he had long, straight hair and my Rick has his usual messy mop. I don't have a vessel for Draco or alternate universe Dib. Dib's appearance was something my mind came up with, so there's no way to have a figure of him. Normal Dib would not work. It sucks because his appearance has been screwing up too. Also, there's a dream version of Senpai who is also a lesser-known superhero like me. She has an angel-type theme going on with her costume and powers. She's not as powerful as me, but her powers always work. Badass Mike also relies more on his weapons, but he does have a few powers that also work 100% of the time. Why me? Nice, wholesome dream. So nice, fun, epic, colorful, vibrant. Loved it. Loved everything about it. Is that so much to ask for? Great dreams and harmless nightmares? Give me ghosts. Give me Slender Man. Give me all the things that used to frighten me. But now don't. Kayako, Silent Hill 4, bees. Well, bee dreams still scare me, but they're child's play compared to my real nightmares. I'd even take volcano dreams over them. I did forget to mention that I almost got Anatir to show up, but my friends in the group stopped me when her humming started because they knew that she was unpredictable, and there was a chance she would work against us instead of with us. I'm glad they did that, otherwise Anatir could have caused a nightmare. She can be stopped when you hear her humming, but not after you hear her laughter. It's crazy, an actual ritual, but sometimes she shows up when in dream me hasn't had her meds and has a breakdown. I fucking want cookies. That was a good dream. I don't remember all of it, but that was a good dream. So, the ritual that happens when Anatir is summoned, it can happen if I have a breakdown, or it can happen by my choice, when I'm solid in my head and everything. So, basically, I control the weather, and I use my hand and do a swirling motion that swirls up the clouds above, and creates storm clouds, and disrupts bodies of water, even swimming pools. And sometimes I can get the water to coil up to the clouds, if they don't have enough water in them. But the point is to create a rainstorm. I don't know why. And then, but sometimes I don't need to do that right away, so I'm not sure exactly what summons her. But usually I have to sing a song. And I don't know all the words. I only know that I have to sing her name Anatir, Anatir. And, oftentimes people look around. The people who know I can do that look around. Other times people just kind of stare at me wondering what's happening. And then it gets really, really quiet. And then you can hear her humming her lullaby. And sometimes you can see a shadow of her, approaching. Because but the shadow is usually, fairly big. Because of the way the light is hitting her. But after humming a part of her lullaby, she stops and she laughs. After a a couple moments of, I'm having a really bad talking day. A couple of moments of silence, she'll start a laugh that's chilling and crazy and manic. And when you hear that, you know that she's come and nothing's gonna, take her away. And sometimes after the laugh, she goes, "Do you want to play with me?" Or, "I want to play a game." And sometimes she's gigantic. Sometimes she looks like a gigantic rag doll. Sometimes she just looks like me, like she would normally. And I don't know, she's really unpredictable, because I can tell her who to maim and who to kill, and she'll do it if she feels like it. If not, she'll just kill everybody. And that's why I have my in-dream, the military and the police coming after me constantly, because Anatir ended up killing one of my in-dream friends. And of course, I was blamed for it. I had broken down, and lost control. Excuse me. And she did this, and it was a complete accident, and I felt horrible. I saw her death. It was disgusting. And ever since then, I've been more careful about using Anatir. She usually tries to show up on her own, and I'll try to convince her to go away. Otherwise, if she's in control, I basically have to try and subdue her if I can, if I'm not in the middle of a breakdown. But usually when I get really angry and stuff, that's when I'm able to power up as a Super Saiyan, despite me being human. Superhuman? And sometimes she helps. But anyway, what I was saying is, ever since that in-dream friend, was killed, I'm gonna call her Kelsey. I think her name is Kelsey. Because she looks like a real friend I had in high school named Kelsey. Ever since Kelsey died, I had been more focused on becoming a hero, whereas before I was neither a hero nor a villain. Like I said in one of my dreams, I said, I'm just me. Not too good, not too bad, just there. But I've been striving to get stronger, not just to protect myself from the many people who seem to want to rape me and drug me. I still get poked with needles. And then the girls who try to kill me, and then that other group who try to kill me, and, I gotta protect myself, basically. But I've also gone to trying to protect other people, even if they don't deserve it. I usually prevent terrorist attacks, school shootings, any kind of shootings up a store, a bank, or whatever, because I can cast my shield over multiple people, and I can say, and the shield cannot be broken. So, and apparently I've become impervious to bullets, whereas I used to get shot all the time, but now it just kind of hurts, but I'm fine. So I don't know what I am anymore, but since a lot of my powers still don't work 100% of the time, it's very difficult to save people and be their hero, and you also have to learn that you can't save everyone. There's just sometimes you're focusing on protecting a certain group, and one lone person is running and gets hit by some shrapnel or something, and you just can't save everyone, but when I don't save everyone, I feel incredibly guilty, and I feel like I'm not doing justice enough, even though Kelsey has been revived. She has been brought back to life, and she's been alive for a long time, and she still talks to me. She's like, I understand, it wasn't your fault. But still, for one, I'm still on the run from the law for it, apparently. But only in certain places, I guess. And I still feel that I have to be a bigger hero than anyone. And it sucks. I mean, it's fun to fight. It's really fun to fight. There are certain opponents that I would rather never fight ever, but it's I don't know. I feel like I need to just sit down and explain things from my dream world without writing them down, because that's really one of the reasons why I haven't explained Vegeta yet, because it's tiresome to write out all these dreams, but and I'd have to try and remember a lot of stuff, but I want it written down. But at some point I should just sit here and talk about the goings-on and the people, the projections, and places and stuff that happens. But yeah, I'm having a really bad talking day right now. After all that anger from earlier in my previous stream journal. So I'm just that's all, folks. I don't know how to do Porky Pig, but I'm just bad at talking right now. So if you like this video, which I hope you laughed at the parts that were funny, if you like this video, leave a like, and become a Reitanna and a member. I don't know, subscribe, become a Reitanna and a member. I don't know, you guys, okay, here's what it is right now. Leave a like, subscribe, become a Reitanna and a member, and don't forget to click the little bell, and I'll see you later, alligators and crocodiles, goodbye. That needs to be shortened. The see you later, alligators and crocodiles thing, I want to keep that. And I want to keep, don't forget to click the little bell. But how can I shorten that to where it doesn't sound like a big mouthful at the end of every single video? I really need your guys' feedback on this, so yeah, etc. Yeah, don't forget to click the little bell. So I shall see you later, alligators and crocodiles. Goodbye.